we're going to talk about CSS Resets. And that's right here. And so we have some files we can look at. And here's a page without a reset. And we'll just open that up. Reveal in Finder. And if you're watching this course online, you could get to all of the course materials by just going to Greater Commons and taking my HTML and CSS course for a very nominal fee. If you can't afford that, message me on Twitter and I will hook you up because I want to see you improve your life. Sweet. Now, I said Reveal in Finder, and there it is. So that's without any CSS. And so browsers by default have formatting for different things. Okay? Browsers by default have formatting for different things. So if we look at this index now with a reset, there's the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when it's been reset. And maybe that'd be a little bit more clear to see if we just kind of coded our own example. And I just say that like that to wake you up. Or wake me up. Or both. One or both of those. I'm going to create a new folder. This folder will be 01, 01. Inside there I'm going to create a new file. This file will be index. It's the common name for an HTML homepage. Create a new file. This file will be main.css. And we'll close this one. And we'll split that vertically and get that over there. And then we'll link to it like the gangstas that we are. And now we could have our H1. I wonder if we could do this. H dollar times 6. Oh, that was cool. Right? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually FICE. People have been spelling 5 wrong for the history of the English language. It is actually FICE. Just kidding. I feel a little bit tired and sarcastic. So now if we were to preview that, we're going to see that there's formatting there. And if we put a border around everything, so star, select everything, and we do border 1 pix dashed red, right? We're going to put a dashed red border around all the elements on this page. And now let's reveal in something. Right? So there are all of our borders around that page. What do we see? Right? There's the HTML element. Then here is, what element is that? Body. Right? And then we have borders around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And not only is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 formatted, but there's a little space right here. And there's a little space right there. We didn't do any of that formatting. Somebody is already formatting our web page for us. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Somebody, how's that story go? Somebody is what? Maybe. So the browsers automatically apply formatting. We could get rid of that formatting. We could say, margin is 0. Or marring, which won't do anything. We could say margin is 0. And let's go see what happens. Now all that space got removed because we explicitly took whatever margins were put in by default and we removed them. We could also say padding is 0. Right? Maybe there's automatically been some padding that's been thrown in there. Nothing changed. No padding was thrown in. We could also say font size, right, is going to be 16 pixels. Whoop. We could also say font weight is going to be normal. Whoop. Now we're at ground 0 for these elements, right? And that's called a reset. It's a CSS reset. And the theory behind it is you don't want browsers formatting your stuff. You are going to take complete and absolute control for the look of your web page. And when you format something, you don't want the browser to come in and then adjust it or change it. You want your design to be your design and not to be messed with. And so we zero out all of the formatting that comes with browsers. And different browsers means they might apply it differently. In reality, it's pretty much the same, but they might, right? So that's called a reset. So we're just resetting different things. And I could even reset the border, right? So I could come down here and I could say border. Well, it's going to throw an error because I'll have two things in one rule set. But I'd also reset the border. So when you look at some of the resets that are out there, there's like the Eric Meyer reset, the normalize, the sanitize, and then there's just mine, which is the McLeod. And the McLeod reset is all of these elements, margin padding border, bzz, 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 0. What's the CSS specificity of an element? What's the weight? 1, 10, or 100? 1, right? So that's not going to create any, if something comes later specifying H1 border, since it came later, they will have the same weight and the later one will win, right? So that's resetting margin padding border. And we're saying font inherit. So that's inheriting the browser's font properties, font size 16. Here I said font size normal. Let me comment that out. And we'll go back and look at our page. Whoop. And I could say font inherit. Whoop. So it just inherited that from the browser. And then I don't even need this one probably. Right? I don't even need that. Okay. So we add font inherit, vertical align baseline, specifies the vertical alignment of an inline element, box sizing border box, line height 1, border radius 0, outline none. I don't know, what's outline do? Outline blue. Nothing. So if we want to learn about outline MDN, I literally don't know. Shorthand for writing various properties, outline style, width, color. This is box with an outline around it. Dashed red. Looks a whole lot like border to me. Borders versus outlines. Outlines never take up space as they are drawn outside of an element's content. According to spec, outlines don't have to be rectangular, although they usually are. Okay, it's kind of like border. How come mine didn't show up? What did I do? Outline. We're going to do dashed red. We're going to do style, width, color. So we need style, solid, width, 10 pixels, and color. Yep. It's all smashed together. We could see everything if we said margin 20 pixels. That actually looks kind of cool. Like they say in Alabama, there's many ways to skin a cat. There's some pretty sick people. They're thinking of different ways that you could skin a cat. Color inherit. Inherit the color value of the parent. Ordered list and unordered list. List style none. No bullets in the list. Text for anchors, text decoration none, so no underlines. For buttons, cursor turns into pointer and the background color is transparent. For a block quote and a quote, no quotes. For a table, border spacing 0, border collapse, and then input select and progress, appearance none, and SVG stuff. So that's the CSS reset. Anybody have questions?